My brothers and sisters in Christ, a very happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you, to those that are of Irish descent, and here in the United States, since the celebration has such a cult, perhaps even to you of not of Irish descent. As hopefully you've heard by now, today, which is often known for its great festivities, as it falls on a Friday of Lent this year, Cardinal DiNardo in the Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston has offered a dispensation from the requirement to abstain from meat today. But I'd like to use this reflection space to comment a bit more on that. His declaration itself offers that dispensation, which is not required. One can still choose to abstain from meat today. But one is offered the choice to be dispensed from that obligation. But Cardinal DiNardo asks that if you choose to consume meat today, that you substitute some other fitting penance or act of charity to make up for it. And this is a wonderful directive. Cardinal, as a bishop in the local diocese, has the authority to make a dispensation from a disciplinary law like this. And so he has dispensed for those who want to have their corned beef and cabbage today, that you can do so, but while not forgetting that it is a Friday of Lent. But I'd like to comment even further about this, something that's often misunderstood about Friday abstinence. And that is the fact that it is rooted in the cross itself. Well, what do I mean? What day did Jesus die? On a Friday. Friday, just as Sunday, every Sunday is a mini Easter, every Friday is a mini Good Friday. Friday is a day that we contemplate the passion of the Lord, his suffering for us. Sunday is a day that we're particularly attuned to celebrate the glory of the resurrection. And so it's for this reason that Friday has always been a day of penance for Catholics, going back to the earliest days of the Church. In fact, even in the first century, there's evidence already of Friday being a day, and in fact, Wednesdays and Fridays, but Wednesdays is another matter. But Fridays being a day of penance, a day of fasting. We're not asked to fast on Fridays other than Good Friday itself, but we are asked to abstain from meat. This is in the Code of Canon Law. However, what many don't realize is that this isn't just for Fridays during Lent, it's for all Fridays. And for those of an older age that can remember several decades back, they'll remember well that this was something much more rigidly observed before. Why is it not today? Did that teaching go away? In fact, the answer is no. But let me share some insight onto what the current teaching is. So the Code of Canon Law, which is what guides all Latin Rite Catholics, the Code of Canon Law prescribes that this importance of Fridays and of proper penance on it through abstinence from meat. However, the canons also give authority for particular application or dispensation from this to local bishops' conferences. For us who live in the United States, this is the USCCB. And so the USCCB several decades ago put out a document on this that pointed out that it is good to do this penance on Fridays. However, it also noted that living in a country that's more affluent than others, that for some, this doesn't hold the meaning that it used to. In fact, if you abstain from meat but eat lobster, you're not doing penance at all, unless you hate lobster. And so, for the other Fridays of the year, the bishops of the United States maintained the Fridays during Lent as abstinence days. For the other Fridays of the year, it's offered that this is still a good practice, but that one can choose to dispense from this form of penance and substitute something else. And so, it is a good idea to abstain from meat all Fridays, but one is not obliged to do so in the United States. However, it doesn't change the fact that Friday should be a day each week that our minds and hearts are more attuned to the passion of Christ. And so, regardless of whether we choose to abstain from meat or not, it should be a day of more intensified prayer, and it should be a day of penance of some sorts. If we don't abstain from meat, we should substitute something else, another act of self-denial, or perhaps an additional act of charity or more time in prayer. And so, this is a great blessing for us that Cardinal DiNardo has not only allowed us to eat meat today if we choose, but by not just dispensing from it, but tying it to the ask that we substitute another act, it has reminded us of the teaching that in fact should guide us year-round. And so, may we truly adore at the feet of the cross of Christ this day, even if we rejoice on St. Patty's. A happy St. Patrick's Day to you all.